Hey there, folks. A couple of things happened this week. Apparently, YouTube said that my channel is no longer up for monetization, which I thought was pretty weird. And honestly, I wanted to make a video about it and everything, but I don't know. It wasn't exactly on my radar. I kind of don't want to, but of course, I gotta talk about it because it's pretty ridiculous. So, you know what? I figure, let's talk about something else. Let's talk more Marvel Legends. And as of today, I want to say around 11 or so, they did a Marvel Legends a fan stream where they revealed even more new figures, which is nice. And of course, they are all mostly Spider-Man related, with the exception of a reveal of a X-Men 2 pack, basically. Honestly, I'll say right now, I do like what I see, but honestly, I know you guys are not gonna just sit down and watch me talk and just look at my face the whole time. So for that, I'm just gonna show off all the new figures they revealed today, and yep, let's just get right on it.
So there's a lot to discuss here. I mean, to be fair, it's a little bit my fault. I wasn't exactly prepared to watch the Marvel Legends fan stream this morning around 11, but that doesn't mean that I can't give my initial thoughts on these reveals. I mean, come on. I mean, it's crazy with how many like Spider-Man figures that they showed off today. Of course, it's based off of their Gamerverse subline, and of course the games include, they're supposed to be based off of the Insomniac Spider-Man's 1, 2, and Miles Morales. So that's pretty cool. They did show off a new X-Men 2-pack, but that's not till like towards the end, but I thought I'd just kind of mention it anyway. I don't want to leave anything out. So of course, without further ado, let's go over all the figures. And of course, I gotta talk about this one. You know I gotta talk about this one. This is like, I mean, look, it's not Ghost Rider. It's not, but it reminds me of him. I mean, come on. It's such a, I mean, this is a costume in the game, I get it, but like, this is the most craziest one out of the bunch though, for sure. I mean, it's so wild. I wish I could read this comic though. I want to know more about this version of Spider-Man. Like, what happened? I mean, the colors and all that. The only thing, I can't really tell if the body is reused. That's the only bad thing. I mean, there's probably other people that could find out right away, but for me, I don't know. It looks very cool. And obviously, I mean, he got all his hands. Honestly, it's that flame piece too. I mean, on his head, it looks. I like the fact that it's translucent. I mean, look at it. Look it up close. Smoking. Okay, I'm sorry. That was cringe, but you get the idea. I mean, again, I want to know so much about this version of Spider-Man now. I mean, that's one of the best things that Marvel Legends always offer, is that even if you're not really familiar with a specific type, of like a variant of a character, at least it kind of makes you interested. So for sure, I mean, how is this not a pickup? At least for me. Like I say, he does include, well, it's mostly like his hand accessories, which, well, I gotta say, that's still pretty decent, because I know a lot of people always complain that with their recent Spider-Man figures, for some odd reason, not all of them include like all the proper hands. So he got the climbing hands, the whip hands, they got the punching hands, and now we also get like a nice, little close-up, especially with the weird spider symbol in his chest. That looks really nice. I do love like the skull though, like his headpiece though. I think they did a really nice job with this. And of course, even the paint, don't get me wrong, like on his arms and his legs though, it has that sort of nice fade to it. Compliments for sure. Now, like I said, I can't really tell what body mold they're using. I mean, I don't think it's Sunfire. I doubt it, but it's kind of hard to say. He's all toned up too. He's got all muscles and all that. So that's pretty neat. Unfortunately, though, with a lot of these figures, they're exclusives, but they're exclusives to like multiple different places. So to kind of catch up with each and every one of them, it's a little bit hard. You could probably, maybe, I don't know, take a guess. Take a wild guess as to where this figure might be an exclusive. Is it a GameStop exclusive, fan channel, Amazon, Target? No, I'm gonna give you like a few seconds. Go on, guess. Where do you think you're gonna be able to find this figure? I'll give you a hint right now. It's one of my least favorite stores. You haven't guessed it? Ah, yeah. Ah, you dirty bastards. I cannot believe it. It's a freaking Walmart exclusive. Well, you know what that means. We're gonna have to go through like weird, crazy hoops just to get this one guy. At least for me. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Toy hunting in 2025, it's a little weird, especially all the weird, crazy inflation things going on. And to be fair, I haven't really found like any new stuff. You guys might have noticed I haven't really been doing my toy hunts lately, so kind of give you a bit of an idea. But I'm very excited though. Don't get me wrong. If I could find a way to get this, or if I'm lucky to get him, like out in the wild, oh, man. And this is just the first figure too. I'm already impressed, so that's great. So of course, let's take a look at our next fella. And this one actually it kind of surprised me a little bit. Kingpin. I mean, how do I say this? He looks good, but something's a bit off. I will admit that. Now, like I said, this is supposed to be based off of the Insomniac Spider-Man video game. I remember he's literally the first boss of the game. I mean, I hope that I hope that's not a spoiler. Also, if you guys want me to do some like walkthroughs of Spider-Man or something, hey, let me know. I'm open to ideas. But besides that, the thing is though, as a Kingpin, he looks really nice. That's the thing. I mean, he looks like it for sure. But don't get me wrong, it is a little off. I mean, not a little, but the thing is though, it's like he's huge, but like he wasn't really that huge in the game. I can tell you that the proportions are definitely exaggerated, especially in the hands. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm convinced that this is a reused body mold of, oh my God, what's his name? Was it Mr. Hyde, Mr. Jekyll? I forgot his name. Oh my God. Wow, true fan, right? Nah, but definitely for sure. And don't get me wrong, they've definitely made some Kingpins with this type of body before. So obviously, you know, there's a couple people here and there kind of talking about how ugly he is. I mean, he's not meant to be a good looking guy, but I will say this, it's definitely not completely game accurate. I mean, obviously with like, you know, his fancy suit, you know, it gets the job done, you know. I can't really necessarily complain too much about it. And to be fair, where are you going to find a decent Kingpin? If you want to find like one that looks accurate to like the comics and stuff, they're pretty pricey online. You got to go like on the aftermarket. eBay wants them for like crazy money. The only cheap Kingpin we could find is the one from like the Hawkeye series. And of course the new Daredevil Born Again series. You know, that's the live action Kingpin pretty much. That's who I'm referring to. That's like the easiest one that you could find, but it's not all that either. And it's only available on Amazon. Well, to be fair, Amazon, it's not like before where if a figure sells out quickly, it'd be hard to find it. No, I'm convinced at least now they're a little more lenient. So if you want to get your hands on them, I think I think it's a lot more easier now. I mean, don't get mad at me though. I didn't really check on the price though. That's the only bad thing. Assuming that this is like a deluxe figure, I'm gonna assume that it's probably gonna be $34.99, probably, because that's how much most deluxe figures cost anyway. But let's not talk about that. Let's go back to basics. Let's talk about Miles' new suit. And honestly, I saw it. I wasn't too crazy about it at first, but it kind of grew on me a little bit, you know. So this is basically Miles, but instead of the usual black and red suit that we're all used to, it's pretty much color coded to look like how the Insomniac Spider-Man suit kind of looks. For those of you who don't know what I mean by that, if you played Insomniac Spider-Man, he has a costume like kind of like sort of a similar design like this. Not exactly, obviously, but you get the point. You know, that's just for those who never played the game before. But it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. I get the feeling that the figure itself, I mean, I don't think there's reuse. Maybe this is a completely new figure. I'm not entirely too sure. There has to be maybe some reuse to an extent. I'm not too sure. But it definitely does remind me of the original, like, Gamerverse Miles figure that they made for the, oh man, the Armadillo Man wave or so. But that was like a long time ago. That was like, wow. I think that was during, like, when they were doing like the Spider-Man No Way Home wave, but that was the first wave. That was like way before the movie came out too. So yeah, we're talking like what was this during the pandemic? I believe so. But let me not jump too much on that. I like the way this figure looks. He looks pretty cool though, you know. And of course, you know, he comes with like his, you know, he comes with a bunch of his hands, which is good. He got that electricity hands thing going on. I don't know why. For me, it's so hard for me to kind of get around that. But obviously, that's one of his abilities. So I think that's just me being annoying. I love these boxes, though. I mean, they condensed them so small. It's like they get smaller every time, I swear. Marvel Legends packaging is not what it used to be. But I swear, that's not a complaint. I actually do like the way this looks. Presentation is key. And I'm in, for sure. And of course, hey, you can't have a Spider-Man wave without a black suit Spider-Man. And honestly, I think out of like most of the ones that came out during the past few years, oh nah, they cooked it with this one. This honestly looks really, really good. I don't know what it is. I mean, you got like that weird texturing with it too. I mean, I know we're just looking at it through the box here, but trust me, when we take a look at how the figure looks, you know, when they showed like more of the shots and all that, and I mean, you can see like texture and shit. I was surprised. Look at that. You know, all the weird crevices, the veins, the way it looks like, how do I say it? It definitely reminds me a little bit of like Venom, like from the movies and stuff, like how those figures had that weird kind of texture to it, you know? I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. But this looks great, you know? And obviously, this isn't really a spoiler per se. I know they did show this a lot within the Spider-Man 2 trailers and all that, especially the ones where he's fighting Kraven and all that. I know obviously he got crazy with the black suit and all. We all know how that goes. It's bully Maguire over and over again. But you know what? We need more black suited Spider-Man in our lives. This looks great, and of course that webbing. Oh man. And that thing is tall too. That's definitely not like the ones that we've been seeing for the past couple of years. Not counting Maximum Spider-Man. That's a different story. In fact, I already did a video on that, so if you want to take a look at that, please do. You know, I hate when they put stands. Like, they look how cool he looks in that pose. I wish they could come with stands like that, man. I mean, they definitely should. Hard to say though. And of course, unfortunately, because I'm an idiot, of course I looked into this, but like, of course you're gonna get people complaining, being like, oh, he don't got toe joints, and I'm like, bro, so you're gonna pass on that? You're gonna pass on this figure just because of that? Like, come on. How many Spider-Man figures don't have like toe joints and people still buy them? Like, come on now. But this looks great. I can't really see him. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna pass this. No way. I mean, come on, look at that. It looks cool. At least for me, you know. And of course, you got that crazy Spider-Man symbol going on, that Venom symbiote, you know. I think that's what's the best thing about this, like the detailing. It's just, it nails it for sure. It convinces me for sure to want to get this figure. And of course, like I said, the web piece looks very nice. Definitely unique. It's definitely a new piece for sure. I don't think we've ever seen this before. The ones that we usually see, they're pretty generic. In fact, they're so generic it didn't even originate from Marvel Legends. Apparently that weird, like the old web piece that they used to use, it used to be from, like, I believe, like the old Amazing Spider-Man toys, but it's the ones that were for kids. It's not like, you know, it's not like now where we got these crazy adult collectibles, well, quote unquote, because I know that $24.99, obviously it's pretty expensive for a Marvel Legends figures. I think as long as they, you know, upgrade and then they keep doing a lot more better with this stuff, you know, I don't know, to a certain extent it doesn't bother me too much. You know, I know that before with their plastic free packaging, you know, I know that was like a crazy thing where it's like, oh, you think since they're putting in less with the packaging, you think, you know, it'd be cheaper, but no. But though, this is a very interesting one though. I can't even pronounce it. It's like a oh my god, I don't know. Guys, listen, to all my fellow Puerto Ricans out there, I am very sorry. All right, I didn't really learn too much Spanish, so if I butcher the name, I deeply apologize. And yes, for the most part, this suit, it's supposed to be like, supposed to have like the Puerto Rican symbol on it. That's what it is, because I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Miles, you know, even though, you know, his mother is supposed to be of Spanish descent, she's, you know, she's Spanish, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. So we got that, you know, it's like, how do I say it? It adds so much to it. I mean, it looks silly, but honestly, I can't say no to this. I mean, this is like such a weird way of doing representation, but it's so cool. It feels unique in a sense, you know. And you know, I'm pretty sure there's a costume in the game too. You know, I know I've seen this from somewhere. I just wasn't too sure. And unfortunately, after I was just talking about how crappy the web piece is, he comes with one anyway. So that's funny. But you know what? I'm not mad. We got a pretty unique looking Miles. Like I said, you know, it's like it's definitely one of those designs where it takes a lot to kind of get used to. But it kind of grows on you a little bit, especially when you understand the context. I think if you just showed this to somebody that doesn't know anything about Miles, they just heard of the name, they'd probably be very confused. They'd probably be like, why does it look like that? The first initial thing that's going to come to mind is like Captain America, for sure. Let's be honest here. I mean, I saw that star and even that kind of hit me too. Probably because, you know, with the new Captain America movie that came out and stuff. I don't know if this is considered an unpopular opinion. I hope not, but I actually didn't think the movie was too bad. I actually enjoyed it. That's all I'm going to say, because I really don't want to get any hate in the comments. And of course, surprise, surprise, he actually comes with all a pair of his hands. So that's good. Because like I said, that was a very, very common complaint where like, I mean, even like the recent retro carded Spider-Man wave, it's like those figures, they don't come with all pair of their hands, you know. It's like you only get like maybe one pair or the other. Sometimes they don't come with whip hands, or sometimes they don't come with crawling hands. It's really weird. But you know what else is weird? This next one. Bruh, Brooklyn 2099 suit. I don't know what it is. I think it's because like for me, I've always enjoyed that weird military aesthetic. That's why I love G.I. Joe Classified so much. But honestly, that's what this reminds me of. It's like, what, Miles, did you went to the military or something? I mean, I know we're just looking at it through the packaging, but like, trust me, when we take a nice, you know, closer look at how the figure actually looks, oh man. I mean, and again, I'll say this for sure. He comes with all of his hands. He got those like those weird web piece effects. I don't know. When I pose them, I don't really put them on the character's hands. I just kind of usually have them laying around them. But this looks cool. I mean, wow. Now I don't know if it's just the camera or just the way the figure. I like how it's like kind of shiny. It kind of shines too. You can see right here in this picture. I mean, oh, wow. It looks nice though. I mean, for sure it looks high tech. You know, that's kind of what they were going for. So I do like the sort of aesthetic with it. Also, I apologize if you see that weird line. When I was trying to look for these pictures, that's kind of how it popped up. I found these from a couple of sources. I saw, you know, I got these pictures from like comicbook.com and a couple of others too. And yeah, like I say, you see like with the effect piece, you could like kind of put them in his hands and stuff. I mean, that's not bad. I think that's really cool. You know, definitely different, you know. So instead of coming with like a web, like a whip, like a, you know, like the weird effect piece, you know, it's just that. I mean, look at the back. But unfortunately, we do have a bit of a weak link here, and this one is a pretty common one I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, and I'm willing to agree a little bit. It is kind of the weakest of the bunch, if I'm being honest. I've seen some people say that that's not even the right color, you know, and I don't really remember too much. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's hard to say, only because I don't know. I mean, I see that blue and the paint on that, it looks, I don't know, it catches your eye for sure with the amount of blue that it has on there. But from what I've heard, I guess the color scheme is completely wrong. So you know that for most people this is probably going to be a pass, which I think that's fine. You know, I mean, look, I'm just going to say this. One or two bad figures, that's not going to hurt an entire wave, because I've seen people like already losing their marbles over this, being like, "Oh, this sucks." You know. As always, oh, just wait till it's on clearance. You know, we've all heard it before, you know, and I understand the frustration, because maybe people do like the suit a lot. I think my honest complaint, honestly, my biggest and number one thing, you know, my gripe with it is that he has the Sunfire body mold. That it's not that I don't like that particular body mold, but it's been overused so many times. So I'm willing to admit that that's the biggest thing that kind of hurts for me in this figure. I feel like I'm still going to get it anyway, because I feel like it's going to be one of those figures where if you see it up close, you know, in person, it probably won't be so bad. Because I always say this, things are a lot more different in person than how you see it online. Like, go out and explore. If you see it, you know, come on, take a look, you know. Like, you know, and it's not like it's, you know, bad or anything. He comes with his accessories and all that. I mean, that extra head, I don't see too much of a difference, if I'm being honest. But then again, like I said, I didn't really tune into the fan stream, so I think that's probably more of my fault than anything else. But it is what it is. So we got in, I guess it's somewhat mediocre. I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst figure out of the bunch. I like it, but like I said, I think I definitely would rather, you know, see it in person first and then see if I'm really willing to buy it or not. And let's take a look at this next one with Black Cat. Oh, ooh, she looking, she looks pretty stunning. I mean, you know, she looks the part as always. I mean, they have to. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? I mean, she looks good, but it's like, I don't know. She's kind of getting me acting up a little bit. I don't know. Oh dear Lord. Okay. Let's move on quick. And of course, we got Venom. I mean, come on. And of course, this is the Tony Todd's Venom for sure. I mean, listen, I'm just gonna say it. Rest in peace, because I was honestly so sad when I found out that he passed away. That was shocking. And of course, yes, like I've mentioned before, this was like his he played the voice of Venom in the video game. And I gotta say, for sure, I mean, if this packaging, the way that the box looks, if this doesn't convince you to wanna get him, I mean, come on. Look at him. He is massive, and of course you got that beautiful, gorgeous texture right there with like the weirdness and the bumps in his skin. I mean, it looks great, and you can't really tell too well, but like he got like some like saliva in his mouth and stuff. That's funny. That's like an optional piece that you could put too. I love that they did that. I mean, very rarely do you see that. I know they've been kind of doing that recently with some of their Marvel Legends figures, mostly with their X-Men. They got like these weird little tiny accessories that you can put on your characters and stuff. I mean, look how big he is. I mean, I don't, I could be wrong. I don't think he's that huge. I mean, you can only imagine how wide he is. Like, look at how wide he is. Like, for real, 19 inches of Venom is real. I mean, like, for sure. If this doesn't guarantee that, I don't know what will. I mean, I'm looking at him, and then I'm just looking at my Carnage from the Venom Let There Be Carnage, you know, figure, and I'm trying to think. I wonder if he's like that size, because that was a big figure as is. And of course, you know, he looks stunning. He got the you know, his long tongue. Of course, that's pretty. You know, we all know how that works with Venom. That's his iconic thing. Uh, Always great to see that included. And of course, you got the weird sort of spider symbol just kind of going all over from his, you know, his to his chest to his back. Very neat. And of course, we got that symbiote like tentacle thing. And they actually did show off that if you wanted to, you can actually put someone on there to make it look like that he grabbed someone. Now that's neat. I like that for sure. The only problem, execution wise, I wonder how that's gonna work, because, you know, is like his stand, like Venom, is his stance going to be good enough for that? You know, can he handle it? You know, as you could kind of see here, you know, like how they're posing the Spider-Man and all that, you know, it looks really neat. Like I said, execution, I wonder that if he can stand him up and then he can also kind of grab someone at the same time. I hope that's possible, you know, because I feel like in execution, he would probably fall off if you tried to do that, as you could kind of see here in the packaging. I can only imagine too. This has to be like a good, like, well, I doubt it's going to be $50. I don't know. This looks like a deluxe figure to me, so it probably is going to be like maybe $34.99 or maybe a little bit more. Hard to really say. Prices, they kind of dip back and forth when it comes to Marvel Legends. I know people are going crazy over the maximum one being so expensive, up to $50. I did make a video about it, like I mentioned earlier before, if you want to take a look at it. And lastly, some X-Men or X-Force. Yeah, that's about it, really. I don't really think there's anything else to talk about. These are cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to ignore these. I really do like the way they look, especially with, you know, X. Especially with her. She looks good. I got the original version of that figure, the one from the Sasquatch wave, and this new updated version looks 1,000 times better than the one that I own. That it's nuts how much Hasbro and Marvel Legends have improved. I'm just hoping that those rumors aren't true. You know, the one that they say that Marvel Legends might not keep the license for long because, you know, the time's up and all that. I hope they still continue to make great figures, because they're definitely doing a lot to improve here and there. Same goes for G.I. Joe. And I guess that's about it, really. I don't have anything else to talk about, so I'm just kind of end the video. So of course, as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll speak a little bit more about what happened to me with the demonetization situation, you know, at some point, because that definitely for sure cannot be ignored. Well, don't get me wrong, I don't want to ignore these guys either. Like, they're killing it for sure, but at least for me. And their Gamerverse Spiderman figures, hey, that definitely some of the best that they have to offer. Oh yeah, and then there's this weird missile thing that they were teasing. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you where it's from, but that's about it. See ya.